We are living in a giant mass migration Ponzi scheme. The government has opened the floodgates and kept them open so their growth figures look better on a spreadsheet. And we just have to accept all of the negatives. School places, GP appointments, housing crisis, cultural changes. We've just got to roll with this, have we? The net migration figures are in. Well, in the year up to June 2023, 672,000 more people are now living in the UK. That's up from 607,000 in the previous 12 months. That's the population of Manchester, plus about another 110,000. How many more houses are we building? How many new hospitals? How many new schools? Well, nowhere near enough is the answer. But where are all these people coming from as well? Well, the highest influx was from India, 253,000, then 141,000 from Nigeria, 129,000 from the EU, 89,000 from China, 55,000 from Pakistan. Remarkably, the people of Ukraine, who are fighting a war and genuinely need our asylum as well, only accounted for 35,000 in those figures. Look, these numbers are shocking, but I am waiting for them to be revised up, because it turns out that 2022's total was a monster 745,000, which was 140,000 more people than first reported. Who's doing the maths here? Diane Abbott? To put into context what a dustbin fire the government have created, David Cameron was elected in 2010 with a pledge to bring net migration below 100,000. And now, in some sort of sick joke, Dave's been welcomed back into the cabinet. I give it about a week before Tony Blair's been sucked back up from the U-bend of the public toilet at Westminster Tube Station. We also have to be honest here. The Prime Minister keeps saying he's focused on the small boats. That focus seems to be as good as a bloke with a lazy eye and a cataract staring at the small print of the opticians' charts in thick fog from 100 yards away. But it's a distraction, this, isn't it? It's a distraction, the small boat stuff. It's a distraction from the legal stuff, from what we voted against consistently at every opportunity for the last however many years. We've got a man in charge here who keeps distracting us by saying he's doing everything he can to shut the back door. But meanwhile, he's left the front door wide open, the living room windows are gaping, there's a big neon sign outside saying, "Come on in." Suella Braverman's piped up, she says. Today's record numbers are a slap in the face to the British public who have voted to control and reduce migration at every opportunity. She added, "When do we say enough is enough?" And here's straight-talking MP Danny Kruger of the New Conservatives group speaking to GB News earlier.
We took back control of our borders, but we've thrown them open, and I think the people who put us into power in 2019 are absolutely entitled to be furious about this. There are some good reasons in terms of the refugees that we've taken in over the last few years, but that doesn't account for these numbers. It's because we're taking large numbers of people on very low wages to fill vacancies in the workforce that should be filled by British workers.
Meanwhile, the new Home Secretary, James Cleverly, he's got his muzzle on now, hasn't he, on a short leash. He wrote, "This figure is not showing a significant increase from last year's figures and is largely in line with our own immigration statistics. The government remains completely committed to reducing levels of legal migration while at the same time focusing relentlessly on our priority of stopping the boats." Nobody believes that. That is the least believable thing I've heard since my missus said she still fancied me when I weighed 17.5 stone, OK? This is not a racism thing. This is a numbers thing. This is a complete and utter desecration of public trust thing. Our politicians have been an absolute shower, and our country will never, ever be the same as a result.